Joining me now from Kyiv is Peter Zalmayev, the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. Peter, great to have you with us. I mean, you would assume there were no more sanctions to apply on Russia. So how does the West punish Putin for Navalny's death?
Well, yes, we keep hearing about yet another package being considered. I thought it was like the 13th package. And once again, Viktor Orban was trying to block it. Well, by all accounts, these sanction packages have been of very limited use. And if anything, they've actually strengthened, Putin's support on the part of his elites. Putin has been able to spread around some very lucrative contracts as a result of, taking over those Western companies who have left. So they've been very, very limited in actually, preventing Vladimir Putin from continuing to wage his war in Ukraine. So I will just second what Garry Kasparov, the chess champion and a leading Russian opposition activist, has said, that the best way to punish Putin, including for the death of Navalny, is by actually getting this aid package approved in Congress and for the Europeans to ratchet up their production of weapons to send to Ukraine. This is the only way to stop Putin.
Peter, let's speak about that US Congress aid package. We know that GOP skeptics, Trump supporters in the House are holding out on this $60 billion aid package. Do you think that Navalny's death will guilt them to change their minds?
Well, you would think so. And, we've seen encouraging comments, including from, the Republican rank and file, but also from Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. But once again, the presumptive nominee and the leader of the Republican Party, Donald Trump, has once again refused to call Vladimir Putin by name. And I just suspect that there is sort of this nascent wing in the Republican Party. Lynn Cheney has called it, as a matter of fact, Putin wing of the Republican Party, that see Vladimir Putin and his coterie as sort of like-minded souls and would like to have something similar to what Vladimir Putin has in Russia. In the United States, Tucker Carlson has recently said that, politicians kill. I mean, this is just the reality of life. This is quite sickening to see, a party of Ronald Reagan saying these things. My hope and the Ukrainians' hope is that, reason will prevail. There is still a majority in the U.S. Congress supporting Ukraine, but they just simply we don't have the time to wait for this. We're already seeing how Russia is trying to capitalize on the capture of Avdiivka and to try to push elsewhere. This is a very critical moment. Ukraine is running out of weapons, and this is simply a do-or-die moment for us.
Yes. Peter, let's talk a bit about the fall of Avdiivka. It would appear that Russian forces now have momentum and that the Donetsk region seems quite vulnerable. What do you anticipate will be Putin's next move? And can Ukrainians, more importantly, hold those defensive lines?
Well, Ukrainians have been very hard at work building fortifications outside of Avdiivka, a few kilometers back. Right now, Russians are probing where else they can attack, maybe capture the neighboring villages, but also seeing if they can attack elsewhere. Kupiansk is a major city, a gateway to the large city of Kharkiv. And in the south, we're hearing that as many as 50,000 Russian troops have been assembled. It's, we see that Putin is trying to capitalize on the momentum. He's got his election, or I would just call it re-coronation in the middle of March 17th. And his military commanders are trying their hardest, their damnedest to present him with some significant victories. Well, let's also not exaggerate what happened in Avdiivka. This is the only second such victory in the last year after Bakhmut. This is the city the Russians have essentially been fighting to capture for the last 10 years. Once again, the world's second largest army trying to get a city of about a pre-war population of 30,000. Ukrainians would not only be able to hold their defense lines, but recapture all their territory if the West only stopped prevaricating, hesitating, stop caring about Vladimir Putin's red lines and give Ukraine what it needs.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Peter Zalmayev in Kiev, great to get your insights and perspective. Thanks so much for joining us.